One of the real challenges with communication in today's business world is the fact that so many organizations are global organizations. You are working with people and other organizations all around the world. And that can present some real challenges. Not only language, which is an obvious challenge in communication, but there's different aspects of culture and different ways that different cultures communicate with each other. Let me give you an example. In Japan, they're less likely to come right out and tell you what they're thinking. They will often talk around the subject and may avoid giving a direct answer in many different situations. Where in America, we often want to hear a direct answer and know exactly what you're thinking or saying. And understanding those nuances of communication can be very important when you're dealing with business people in different lands. I really came to understand the importance of communication on a global basis with one of the companies that I previously worked for. I was in charge of sales and marketing for the whole world, and that presented a number of different challenges. So I worked in Europe and I worked in Asia, developing partners, distributors, salespeople that would sell our product. And I found it very challenging to go from one country to another. I needed different ways of communicating, different ways of sharing a strategy, different ways of trying to motivate them to sell our product. And it varied from Japan to China to Germany to the UK. And so understanding those different nuances of communication became a real challenge, and it took time and effort to develop that. In one of my previous roles when I worked in industry, I was basically leading sales and marketing on a worldwide basis, trying to set up distributors, finding partners, finding salespeople to sell our products. And this was throughout Europe and into Asia. Japan was one of our primary customers. And I found it very difficult to understand the cultural differences in all those different places initially, as I tried to create some sort of communication program and getting the word out about our product, marketing materials such as catalogs and whatnot. They needed to be tweaked depending on the country in which we worked. Also, working with the business people in those countries was different from one country to another. For example, one time in Japan, we had a disagreement about a particular product and the way that product should be used and sold throughout the country. And I was very direct and open about my feelings about that product. And I came to know later in that process, a few weeks later, that I had really offended the partner that I was working with because of the approach that I used in our meeting. And he felt like he lost face by the way that I approached that. And I had taken kind of an American mentality, which isn't the right way to do business in Japan. And so I learned a valuable lesson in that. And I need to understand their communication processes and be willing to adapt the way that I communicate so that we can have an effective partnership.